40inbox.com here. So we're going to be reacting to an article about how this person's side hustle turned business went viral on TikTok and brought in $500,000 in the year 2020. And in a lot of people's ways of thinking, this is actually them basically becoming rich from this, right? So you could basically say that this viral TikTok made her rich. But let's get into the story. So in July 2020, from the couch in my 600 square foot apartment, I watched my business change overnight in the middle of a global pandemic, all because of a TikTok video. Her first 100K started as a way to chronicle and celebrate my journey to saving $100,000 by the age of 25, a milestone I achieved in 2019. I used the blog to share advice on spending, saving, and negotiating for more at work, and grew it into a personal finance education platform for women, especially for millennials and Generation Z. I quit my corporate job in marketing in late 2019 to run her first 100K full-time. Taking my side hustle full-time was terrifying, and I set a goal that seemed beyond ambitious. $100,000 in revenue in 2020. Instead, we brought in over $500,000 last year. The last 9 months of our first 100K's online life have been exciting and frankly mind-boggling. My business has gone from a team of 1 to a team of 8 in just over 18 months, and my community has grown in ways I couldn't have imagined. Here are the biggest lessons I've learned from the experience. Meet your audience where they are. One of my main goals with her first $100,000 is to reach a millennial and Gen Z audience. After joining TikTok in July of last year, mostly for fun, I quickly recognized an opportunity to share valuable content with them. There were already a few money creators sharing on the platform, but I wasn't seeing the kind of advice that resonated with me. And even though it was a newer platform, like so many other financial spaces, it was dominated by men. I started sharing small bites of financial wisdom geared towards women, specifically alongside my just for fun content. Because of its 60-second content limit, TikTok was an easy place to try out my educational content without significant cost. So I found some good window light, made sure I was following the ever-changing trends, led with authenticity and information I thought people would find valuable, and started making videos. Within 1 week of strategically posting on TikTok, I had my first viral video. Dun, 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 dun. My 30-second video about leaving my corporate job to work for myself brought me a substantial uptick in followers on both Instagram and TikTok, and it continues to grow. The video currently has around 3.5 million views. So let's actually go check out this TikTok. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, keep the volume muted. Me making someone else rich at a desk job. Blah, 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 blah. Me as my own boss. Save 19,000 by age 24. Okay. So basically, showing screenshots of basically her journey to get to $100,000. So it's a very quick summary of basically what ended up happening, right? But this thing has nearly 750,000 likes, nearly 9,000 comments, nearly 8,000 shares, which is pretty amazing when you really think about it. So 8 months later, a video where I spoke about the importance of investing for women hit 2 million views in a matter of days. That video's reach has continued to grow to 5 million views and counting. So systems in place to turn attention into revenue. So in 9 months, I went from 30,000 followers across all platforms to a community of 1.5 million, a 4,000% increase. During that same time frame, our email list jumped from 40,000 to over 150,000. That in turn led to more press coverage, and I found that with each new feature, our numbers kept growing. The drawback to social media is that you do not own your platform. If you're testing out a new platform, make sure you are versed in and adhering to its guidelines. If you run afoul of those rules, even without realizing it, you can find yourself locked out of your account or completely taken offline. After all your hard work, you want to be able to maintain the audience you built. Now, this is why a lot of people who end up making, their business online really focus on collecting emails to such a high degree. It's because that's the direct connection that a business owner tends to have with their potential customers. So pretty much, let's say that you have 1,000 super strong customers or super strong followers of your specific content or of your business, right? If you have them very, very loyal and there are 1,000 of them, and it could just be a direct message kind of stuff. It could even just be you texting them, right? Well, if they're extremely loyal, that could potentially be a $1 to $10 million business per year, depending on how you structure it. So it's very interesting when you really think about it. So something like a viral video or even an influx of new followers is only the first step. My best advice is to make sure that you have systems in place to lead your social media audience back to your company, because now you have the opportunity to turn this growth of one aspect of your business into actual revenue. We included links to a specific TikTok-friendly landing page with an email opt-in to get consumers off of TikTok and Instagram and onto our email list. Through our email newsletters, we offered both free and paid financial resources for users to try. Now, one of the key parts of that strategy is our 5-minute financial personality quiz, which we designed to help our audience figure out where they are in their financial journey and help them get started on new goals. Because these systems were in place before my second viral video this winter, the results were significant. Our stretch goal for revenue in 2020 was $100,000. We ended the year at $500,000 in revenue, and we're now on track to make 7 figures in 2021. So keep it simple and consistent to connect with your customers. One of the biggest lessons I learned from this experience is that these systems don't have to be complicated, especially if you don't have a lot of options or you're working on a budget. If you're working to grow your side hustle through social media, you can start as simple as offering a virtual webinar, a workbook, a course, or even a weekly email newsletter. Early on, when we had about 30,000 followers, my community often asked me for resources that were both accessible and built around the idea of increasing financial education for women. In response, I started small, creating ongoing courses covering beginner finances, growing a side hustle, and landing a new job. I created a mixture of paid and free resources so that anyone at any income level could learn from me. Having courses and free content in place was key to growing once we went viral. We already had a funnel ready to go to get people from social media to my email list. My best advice for other business owners overwhelmed by the idea of having to do more is to create content that you can use across multiple platforms, especially if you are working with limited resources. We repurpose TikTok videos for Instagram and vice versa. We create and build new content based on the feedback and questions we got on our posts. So use our platform to make an impact. Going viral over the last few months has also helped us embrace new platforms and continue to share knowledge in new ways. In May, I launched Financial Feminist, a financial education podcast for women. I'm also in the midst of building an educational platform and community around investing for women. My hope with Financial Feminist in this new platform is to continue to expand the Her First 100K community and make Gen Z and millennial women richer and more fulfilled. Our growth also opened us up to new partnerships and affiliates, which has consistently been our largest revenue driver. I take special care to only work with businesses that I personally use and that I feel have values that align with the financial feminist movement. Dun, 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 dun. So internet virality has its drawbacks, especially scrutiny that can be intense and often unforgiving. I've had to set new boundaries in my business, like making sure to delete Instagram from my phone or making myself take Saturdays off. I've also had to learn the value of letting go of what you cannot change or control. Ultimately, it has been so gratifying to grow Her First 100K, help others learn how to save and invest, and get their financial lives together and share my passion for financial literacy for women everywhere. So Tori Dunlap is an internationally recognized money and career expert, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I thought that was pretty cool, right? I think it's pretty cool what she was able to do. And this kind of goes to show you that, like, this is why you need to basically create a very strong foundation for whatever you want to do, whether it be, a good, strong financial foundation so that you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, or whether it be in business where you create a foundation so that if something happens to the positive, you can capitalize it. This is basically kind of like a situation where, like, you want to work very hard by putting things into place so that it could be very easy for you to get lucky and take advantage of that lucky moment, right? It's kind of like a situation where, like, you always want to have, like, gas in your car so that you could take advantage of, a lucky moment kind of thing, right? Because, for example, always having gas in the car means that you're never going to have to fill up, like, at a moment's notice. Whereas if you always have gas in the car, you're basically prepared to basically do whatever, whenever, at any given time, right? So, for example, it's kind of like a situation where, like, a good way to put it is, like, let's say that if you fill up your gas, like, if you fill up your car with gas all the time, right? Like, at, like, the halfway gas point, right? Half tank point, right? Well, let's say that there's, like, a massive deal that's going on for, like, maybe something that's, like, something that you really like, right? It could be a game, it could be, a piece of clothing, whatever it is, right? But there's, like, a specific deal going on at this specific time, and you have to get there within, like, 20 minutes, right? Well, if you've always been filled up since the half tank point, you can easily just go by, get whatever you wanted to get, and move on with your way, right? Meaning you're able to take advantage of that lucky opportunity. But if you basically are a person who waits to the very last second to fill up their gas, you missed out on this lucky opportunity to get something that you could have wanted, right? It's kind of like that concept where, like, you always want to be prepared and have things set in place so that if something does come your way, you can just grab a hold of it and ride with it, right? I think that's the best way to really explain it, even though it might sound a little bit complicated. But either way, if you like this sort of stuff, stay tuned for more. Listen to this and hit the like button if you like this sort of stuff. Now, if you need help with mastering your money so that you could take advantage of opportunities like this, go check out 40inbox.com and learn the secret to mastering your money so that you could get out of debt, build an emergency fund, and start investing at any income level, at any financial situation. You can learn a very simple and easy to follow along process that anyone can do. And yeah, you could then take advantage of different opportunities.